at one point, I was like, girl, whatever happened to you, you deserve, because you are not picking up on context clues, okay? You have no survival skills. Hello and welcome to Tracy Momi Reads. I am back again with another book review. Today I am going to be discussing You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. You Shouldn't Have Come Here. Okay, I mean, obviously from the title, from the cover, and Geneva Rose, you could probably deduce that it is a, book in the mystery, thriller, suspense genre. One day I'm going to take the time to really, decipher the difference between those three, because I always just lump them together, because whenever you read a book in one of those genres, it always contains elements of the other. So I don't know if it's proper or fair to say that it, covers all three, or if there's a distinct difference. Let me know in the comments if maybe I could save myself some time if any of you know off the bat kind of what the distinct difference is between those three genres. So anyway, so the premise, there's this woman named Grace from New York. She has rented an Airbnb in a secluded, heavily wooded, rustic, rural area of geez Louise, I cannot remember if it was Colorado or one of the Dakotas. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it up top. Let y'all know. I'll go back and look through that. But anyway, it's very remote, right? It's off the grid. So much different than the frenetic pace of New York City, with the overcrowding and busy. So when it first opens, she has stopped to get gas at this random gas station, you see at the beginning of horror movies, where the clerk is probably missing a tooth and an eye. And he's just kind of leery looking, and I feel like it sets the scene for the type of environment she set herself up to be in, right? So she gets to the cabin, or it's actually a farm, right? It's a farm. So she gets to the farm where she's going to be staying, and the Airbnb owner, his name is Calvin. Now let me tell you something. Right off the bat, I would have had a problem if I were Grace, because I've only done an Airbnb maybe 3 times with my family, or may have just been 2. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3. But at any rate, no, it was 3. We've done it 3 times. The owners of the establishments, or the homes, or the townhouses or condos, they're never there. That seems like that would be hella awkward, to be sharing a space. If it's not a bed and breakfast or something, but to share the space with the person who lives there, I feel like if you're doing an Airbnb, it needs to be for a place where you don't live full time, right? So that your guests can have some type of privacy. But Calvin lives on the farm and runs the farm full time. And so as a result, Grace really can't have any privacy or any time to herself, because he's there, okay? You could tell there was some attraction brewing between the two of them. They were both, according to the description, in the book, they were both attractive. They were both around the same age. And he cooked her dinner the first night, and just offered to show her around or whatever. She had brought a bunch of books and said that she just wanted to read, but their interactions became more and more frequent. And she ended up, spending a lot more time with him, sharing, breakfast and dinner. And he showed her around on the farm and recommended places where she could go in town to get clothing, because she had not brought the right type of clothing to be staying on a farm, and she was going to be there for an entire week, right? So one of the things, when he was showing her around the house, the farmhouse, there was a door that led to a basement that had a padlock on it. No, 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 no. I'm gonna need to know what's in that basement. You know, houses with basements make me leery anyway, because, you know, I'm from Texas, from Houston specifically, and we don't have basements. So the idea that, you know, there could be some nefarious things going on in a basement would probably freak me out anyway. But his was padlocked, so that really would have raised a red flag. But it was just something about Grace, like from the onset, that made me think that maybe she had a job with the government, or that she was, you know, she just came across a little bit tougher than your average damsel in distress, you know. And I tried to keep that in mind as the story went on, because I was like, girl, you don't see all these red flags. It's too many red flags. You need to get out of here. Then her car broke down, so it was just going from a bad to worse. And then there was no Wi-Fi or cell service. No, I'm thinking I'm turning around and I'm going back the way I came, okay? Because this is, no, where's the nearest big city with a chain hotel? Because that's where I need to be. But she stuck it out because, like I said, there was an edge about her. I don't think that, you know, she was easily, you know, frightened by events that kept happening. And, let's see, she mentioned something that she felt like there's something off about Calvin, but again, she stayed. And Calvin felt like there was something off about her as well, but he was so busy falling in love with her. And that was the biggest red flag for me as a reader. Like, you know, he was saying things like, you know, he wanted her to stay forever. 2 days into knowing her, you know, I was like, okay. I mean, you know, obviously from the blurb, it was obvious that it was going to be, you know, a creeper type situation, but I just did not realize how soon that was going to happen and how much it was going to annoy the hell out of me. And also there were like some other like issues with Calvin. His girlfriend kind of died mysteriously. His parents died in a fire. You know, a lot of death follows this man. And then midway through the book, a sheriff comes, you know, knocking on the door saying that there was a woman who had booked Calvin's place for, you know, Airbnb stay that never showed up, and she's missing now and all this. And I'm just like, again, no. Sheriff, can you take me out of here? That was her opportunity. My car's not working. I want to go with you. But again, she stayed. And that started to also annoy the shit out of me. At one point, I was like, girl, whatever happened to you, you deserve, because you are not picking up on context clues, okay? You have no survival skills. Then, you know, we meet a friend of this girl that obviously has a crush on Calvin. We meet like a woman who's like a surrogate mother to him, and then his brother. You know, these are all some of the locals, you know, and we see how they fit into his life. So for a moment you think, oh, well, maybe he's normal. And then he does or says something that makes you go, he's so not normal. There's something so wrong with him, right? And Grace ends up succumbing to her attraction, and the two of them get together. And, you know, the whole time she's like, you know, it won't hurt to have a little fling because I'm headed back, you know, to New York or whatever. And he's thinking the whole opposite again, how he can keep her forever. It just it started to get on my nerves that, you know, like she was aware that there were weird things going on and she wasn't taking any precautions or the necessary steps to get out of that situation. Then we get to the twist, the fork in the road, the twist in the story, and everything's flipped upside down, and you're like, okay, so now we know why she didn't why she wasn't too concerned, right? Okay, like we find out what was really up with her. And also we find out what was up with Calvin, which it's pretty much what you think, you know, going into the story. But I will admit, like I said, I felt something was amiss with Grace, but I don't know that I would have ever thought what happened was going to happen. I thought that maybe she was like an undercover police officer and they had, you know, been tracking Calvin and she was there to bring him down type thing. But then when she like, you know, slept with him, I was like, okay, yes, that's really going deep undercover. But it was something totally different that, you know, I feel like, you know, when you go to stay in Airbnbs, like it can be scary, but I feel like the people who own the Airbnbs, maybe they should also be a little frightened. That whole thing is just kind of weird. I don't think I would ever do that, like go stay in an Airbnb by myself, right? Like the times that we've done it, it's always been like my family, like it's 4 people, and only one place was like a house. The other ones were kind of like condos or townhomes, and so there were other people very close, you know. I mean, the house was close too, but I don't know. I just even when the night falls in all of those places, except for one, because one was in like a high-rise building, okay, where, you know, it's going to be kind of hard for somebody to come in there on you, like, without you hearing, because it's only one way in, and that's through the front door. You know, you can barricade that. But other places is like, at nightfall, you're kind of going, okay, what if somebody comes in with a key? Or what if somebody was hiding in a closet? Or, you know, like, so we have to check everything when we go in and make sure it's all safe. But anyway, back to the book. That twist, it had me, you know, it really caught me by surprise. And initially, when I first read it, I was like, what? Like, okay, this is crazy. This makes no sense. Why? And sometimes crazy doesn't make sense. So after I've had a chance to kind of marinate on it more, you know, for the entertainment value that it brought and for something that was not expected, Geneva Rose did exactly what she was supposed to do in that respect by entertaining us with this story. And what I didn't like about the book, which I guess all ended up playing out in the end, it was just too quick. Like how they kind of connected and got together and you know, were so attracted to each other. For this woman who seemingly had just come there for you know, some rest and relaxation, but you know, again, in hindsight, you're trying to lure someone, then maybe you do come across as more you know, like easy, you know, you come across as easier or whatever. But overall, it was an entertaining read. I you know, these endings, they always just get me. And, you know, Geneva Rose also wrote The Perfect Marriage, which I had a problem with that ending. But in this one, it just, again, it catches you off guard and you're going, oh, okay, that's different. But I'm always looking for a little bit of plausibility and, you know, more reasoning. And I don't feel like I got it with this book, you know. I feel like we needed a prequel. Like, what? You know? But if you are looking for a book that will keep you guessing as to what the heck is going on throughout the story, then you shouldn't have come here. Is totally the type of read that you're looking for, because the whole time I'm continuing to read and scroll and flip the pages because I'm trying to figure what is going on here. It has to be something deeper than at the surface. And then there's all these subliminals and these little warnings that, you know, Grace was getting from Calvin's, you know, friends and family, you know, until, like I said, we get to that ending and the whole thing is turned upside down. I will tell you, trigger warnings. There is the mention of abductions, there is some bondage, there is a death, like it's several mentions of death, because yeah, at the end of the day, there's like some serial killer type vibes and actions that take place in the book. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, or if that hits too close to home, you may want to skip this one. But otherwise, you know, again, if you're looking for a quick read and something that keeps you guessing, then check it out. You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. Have you read You Shouldn't Have Come Here? Let me know in the comments. And let me just know overall what you thought, or what you thought about that twist specifically, because I'm still sitting with that one. Let me know what you thought. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video and go ahead and take the opportunity to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Thanks again. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.